I'm Benjamin Franklin. Yes, the guy on the $100 bill. But if you think I'm just a face on your money, you're missing the best parts. Before the money, I was just a 16-year-old apprentice in my brother's shop, covered in black ink.
Welcome to the future of the press. This iron giant here can print 1,000 sheets before breakfast. Marvelous, isn't it?
This is where I learned the power of the word.
A look at the shop where the magic happens. We set the type by hand. Laborious work, but essential for spreading knowledge throughout the colonies.
James wouldn't let me write for his paper, the New England Current. He thought I was just a kid with a big mouth. So, I got creative. I created a fake identity. Silent Stowe Good, a middle-aged widow with a sharp tongue. I'd slip my letters under the shop door at night. James loved them. He published them all.
This is the story we must publish!
Never knowing his own brother was genius behind the pen.
Your fault, I tell you.
When he found out, he was furious. I had to run. I arrived in Philadelphia with nothing but a few coins and a dream of owning my own press. That's where the real legend began.
You're watching Legendary Lives, the history feed. If you love unraveling biographical mysteries with us, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get right back to the shocking mind of Benjamin Franklin.
First, I never became president. I signed the Declaration and the Constitution, yet I was never elected. Why? Honestly, I was too busy being America's first influencer in France. In Paris, I was a rock star. I used my Poor Richard persona, the simple, wise American, to charm the French court. I didn't wear the fancy wigs. I wore a fur cap to look like a rustic genius. The French went wild for it. They thought I was a philosopher of the backwoods. It was a total act, of course. I was a city boy through and through. I used my fame to manipulate the king into giving us the money to win the war. But did you know I was also a spy? As Postmaster General, I used the mail to track British movements. I was the architect of America's first intelligence network. The French had a delightful little operation called the Cabinet Noir, the Black Chamber. It was a secret room in the post office where every piece of sensitive mail was diverted, opened, copied, and resealed so perfectly you'd never know a soul had touched it. I wasn't just a printer, I was a gatekeeper of secrets. By the time the war ended, I was the most famous man in France. My face was on snuff boxes, clocks, and medallions. King Louis got so jealous of my popularity that he gave a lady-in-waiting a chamber pot with my face on the bottom. I didn't mind. If people wanted to look at my face while they did their business, at least they were thinking of America.
Indeed, its strategic position is undeniable.
Is the letter finished?
Yes, it is ready.
Second, I wrote that scandalous letter about choosing older women. I argued they were wiser, more discreet, and, let's be honest, more grateful. I believed life was meant to be lived, not just managed. I even had strange health habits. Every morning I sat naked by my window for an hour, taking what I called an air bath. I believed it kept me from getting sick. Imagine being my neighbor in 1780. They certainly got an eyeful over the years. In third, electricity almost killed me. The kite wasn't a hobby, it was a gamble.
It works! By Jove, it actually works!
Once I tried to kill a Christmas turkey using electricity because I heard it made the meat uncommonly tender. I accidentally took the shock myself. It knocked me flat, blinded me for a minute, and felt like a universal shake-up. I wrote to a friend, I meant to kill a turkey, and instead I nearly killed a goose. I was the goose.
They fell later.
If that lightning had hit me directly, I would have been a founding father-shaped scorch mark on the grass. I also invented bifocals because I was tired of swapping glasses. But I also created the glass Armonica, a series of rotating glass bowls that you played with wet fingers. It was so hauntingly beautiful that people thought the music caused mental illness. It was the forbidden instrument of the 18th century. I spent my final years back in Philadelphia, still tinkering, still writing, and still wondering if that kite experiment was really worth the risk of a literal heart-stopping shock. I've lived many lives: a printer, a rebel, postmaster, a scientist, a spy, and a man who refused to be boring. I proved that one life, lived with enough curiosity, can change the entire world. So next time you see my face, remember the man behind the money was a little shocking. If you want more stories like this, hit subscribe. This is Legendary Live.